about the law and people.
That is not a legal defense, let me tell you.
And how people can resolve and better themselves.
Justice with passion.
I knew I was going to go into law because I always defended everybody. I was always the one who found a solution and tried to resolve the problem.
Justice with truth.
I'm giving you one more chance to tell me the truth.
This is Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. Anthony Coultier is suing ex-fiancée Jasmine Rutledge in the amount of $4,083 for collectible sports memorabilia he believes she removed from their home.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Cristina Perez presiding. Please be seated. All parties have been sworn in, Your Honor.
Thank you, Bernard. Mr. Coultier, you like to collect sports memorabilia, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your favorite?
Basketball.
Oh, okay. So you are suing Miss Jasmine, right? Why are you suing her?
First of all, Your Honor, I'll start by saying me and Jasmine, we together for about 5 years, you know, before we got engaged. Prior to that, we stayed together for about 2 years roughly. So, you know, we acquired quite a few things for our house.
Mm-hmm. So you lived together before?
Yes, we stayed together.
Okay.
You know.
Before you were engaged, you lived together?
Yeah, 2 years.
Okay.
So, you know, Jasmine, she was the love of my life. And the day I proposed to her.
If I was the love of your life, you wouldn't have cheated on me.
Okay. Let's let Anthony finish. So, she was the love of your life.
Yeah, she was the love of my life. And the day I proposed to her, you know, and when she said yes, I was ecstatic.
Okay.
But a year and a half after that, I found out that, you know, Jasmine had been cheating on me.
Oh, who cheated first?
I didn't cheat on him. It was a phone call conversation.
Okay, but who cheated first? Who were you talking to?
Okay, I was talking to a young gentleman, and it was mindless.
Was it a romantic conversation?
It was mindless, petty conversation.
For how long were you talking to him for?
Maybe a couple of weeks, if that. And
really?
it was nothing. I will admit, I had cold feet. Okay. And I was taking, you know, second thoughts about getting involved in this marriage with him.
So then he's the one that cheated first then, right?
No, I actually did, I will admit, you know, but we did go and seek therapy. You know, he confronted me about it. I let him know that I was having cold feet and second thoughts at first, but we went to therapy. So I'm thinking that the therapy was working until one day he butt dials me on accident and he's on a date with some other woman that I had no idea about.
Really? Okay. What happened, Anthony?
Yes, I was on a date, but it was a close friend, a childhood friend from years back.
Okay, so was it a date or was it just...
It was more of a platonic meeting.
Let's get to the point of why we're here, okay? You're suing your ex-girlfriend because you love sports memorabilia, and she sold some of your sports memorabilia.
Yes.
Okay? So what happened? So after you realized that he was cheating on you because you cheated on her, then you guys broke up?
We called off the engagement.
She called off the engagement.
We called off the engagement because he obviously, you know, wants to be out on another date with someone else. Hid the information from me. You know, after I talked with my friends and my family.
It's not true you don't want to be out on a date with other people?
No, it was a casual date. I'll admit I was wrong for confiding in a friend.
Yeah, you were wrong.
Without confiding in her.
And you don't even communicate with me, so how could you go and communicate with some other guy?
Well, you know, that's easy to point the finger. You didn't communicate with him before you started talking to the other guy.
We went to therapy.
But let's
see now.
So then she decides to break it off and she moves out.
Yeah, we stayed together. She decided to break it off. She was furious and cussing and yelling at me when I got home that night. And
because she heard accidentally.
But she heard the call. Now she breaks it off with me. She tells me she doesn't want to be with me anymore. The engagement's off and she's leaving. So that night, I obviously slept on a couch.
Okay, so then you sleep on the couch that night. You come back.
I go to work. I get up for work. I go to work the next day. I come home. Jasmine, she's gone. And she took all her stuff, and she took my most prized possessions.
Your most prized possessions?
Which were what?
Which were a sneaker signed by an NBA player who I went to a playoff game, and you know they won, and he threw a sneaker in the audience, and I caught it.
Oh wow!
And so you know I waited an hour and a half after the game just to get him to sign the sneaker. That's how much of a fan I am.
Okay.
So after that, you know. She takes my sneaker. She took a basketball that was signed by a Hall of Famer, and she took my baseball glove.
Okay, the basketball. How did you get the basketball?
We
purchased these things together.
What do you mean we purchased them together,
Meaning
the
that
basketball?
I paid the majority of the
No, Your Honor.
basketball.
Okay, let's talk about the basketball. The basketball is valued at about $1,800,
yeah.
right?
Now, see,
who paid the
I
$1,800?
paid $1,000. He paid $800.
Is that true?
no.
Yes,
What's the
true.
truth?
The basketball wasn't as much as it was then. I got the basketball signed.
Oh, you got the basketball signed.
It was a normal basketball. It was an NBA official basketball.
bought these items
of course.
online.
And then what do you mean you got it signed? Explain to me.
I went to an event where basketball legends, Hall of
Okay.
Famers, and it was like a get together for the community. I went there and had him sign my basketball.
Oh, so
Now-
then who paid what for it?
We paid for it online.
That's what I'm saying. Back to the original story. We paid for these items online. These were
No. He said that the sneaker, he himself went to a game and got it signed. So
But
that's
the
a sneaker.
basketball we
But the
bought
basketball,
online.
you took a basketball.
No,
basketball.
okay, I'll say she paid for the basketball, and I took it there to get it signed.
Oh, how much did you pay for a basketball?
It was probably $150 or so.
Okay.
It retail.
And then so you took this basketball, an official NBA basketball, to the autograph signing thing, and you had this legend sign it.
Yes,
right?
I had him sign it.
Coming up on Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez.
Why did you take his things, Jasmine?
I took everything that belonged to
Spitefulness,
me.
Your Honor.
I took my things, and I left enough things in there that we purchased together.
You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Anthony Coultier, who is suing former fiancée Jasmine Rutledge for the cost of sports memorabilia.
And then what about the baseball glove?
Now
Explain
the
that to
baseball
me.
glove, I'll admit, we both paid for that.
What do you mean you both paid for that?
It was the glove. It costed probably $1,000 or something. So I'll admit she paid $600. I paid $400 for it.
For the glove.
For the glove,
Okay.
autographed already.
Got it. And then when you bought that glove, Jasmine, why did you buy the glove?
Because he's the sports fanatic. I always wanted my husband to have what he wanted, and that's something that he cherished, and he wanted to have that. So I said, okay, I will help you get the glove.
So when you gave him those $600, what was your intention when you wrote the check for $600?
My intentions was for him to have something that he truly wanted.
So were you giving it to him as a gift because you loved him?
It could have been a gift, but I wanted him to have what he wanted.
You wanted him to have.
Yeah, I wanted him to have that because that's something that he's always wanted. So I went ahead and helped him.
So you wanted him to
buy
have what
that.
he had, so it was a gift.
Yes, Your Honor.
Got it,
And
okay.
I couldn't afford it all by myself, so she helped me with the remainder.
Okay. When you moved out, why did you take his things, Jasmine?
I took everything that belonged to
Spitefulness,
me.
Your Honor.
I took my things, and I left enough things in there that we purchased together that was equal value so that he can make a clean sweep. So it wasn't like I'm just taking all the stuff that was of value and then leaving all this other stuff.
So
I
you
left
were
the
that
TV.
hurt?
I
You
left
were
the
that hurt?
TV.
Who was
I left a dining
who owned
set.
the TV?
We both paid
We
for
purchased
it.
it together. I left the dining set. I left the TV. I left a lot of our prized possessions other than the basketball.
Okay. So you still have all that stuff?
Your Honor, and
You still have all that
yes,
stuff?
and she can. I told her I didn't. She left me stuff like the dining room set and the living room set and the bedroom set. There's stuff that she picked out. I put in on it, but she picked it out. It's girly. I have no need for it.
If he forgave you and nothing happened when you were talking to this guy consistently, why can't you forgive him if he only had a dinner date with somebody?
I've forgiven him, but I just called it off
She
because
broke it off the same night. Your Honor.
Here's the problem. It sounds like you can point the finger, you can dish it, but you can't take it. That's what it seems like to me. He forgave you. You talked to this guy for a long time. He went out with a girl that he knew for a long time. No, you didn't, because you broke up with him the next day. And what you did on spite is that you took things that specifically were his that you knew would hurt him, and staying things that were probably even more valuable, you took them. So it's very simple what we're going to do. We are going to make sure that she returns the sneaker, the glove, and the basketball. Okay? You have
that.
15 days, and don't shake your head, because we know exactly where you are and where you live. 15 days to return that.
Well, can he give
what
me
you
some
can
of my
do
money
with
back?
all the furniture, that's not before me. My recommendation is, if you want a clean break, You either figure out whose is whose, or give her all the furniture, or divide it evenly amongst you two, so at least it's fair. So what you felt that you have expended, you will get back, and vice versa. You guys are bright, beautiful people. You know, think with your head, your heart, okay?
All rise.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to return his sports memorabilia.
It shouldn't have had to come to this point. I love you. I still love you.
You don't love me. You don't love me. All you want is your sports memorabilia. That's all you want.
That too,
so you're gonna get that. You know, you got that.
Sorry it had to come to this.
So yeah, it did have to come to this.